Okay, it's 1/11/2018, and we're just talking about the moment of now. Jesse Hart, have suggested that the moment of now is actually never, as soon as we perceive the now, it's already past. My friend Wesley Wagner / Gingivitis here has more to say on that topic. Wes, what do you think about this moment of now? Is it now or is it never?
Out of now, because now I'm recalling what I just said, which was from a feeling.
And I didn't have the microphone ready.
Yeah, always. Well, let's see. Thinking is recalling the past rather than sensing your reality through your sensors, your proprioceptors within the body, the sensation of feeling, hearing, smelling, tasting, the fullness of that which you are receiving in each unfolding moment, each unfolding now. To think is to narrow down that bandwidth to a perspective of what that reality is, and you can only speak to a certain dimension of that full reality.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a 5D perspective, if ever I've processed some before. David, what do you think about this moment now?
It's pretty relative.
Pretty relative? What do you mean by relative?
Oh, well, I mean, for me to have to contextualize it with words, it's just a never-ending moment. The fleeting aspect of it is when awareness travels away from the heart and more or less in the busy mind. But there is this beautiful symbiotic relationship so that we can be able to express what it is that we're experiencing, and then at the same time we just where we express what we experience in retrospect, but really we don't have to express what it is that we're experiencing because we're all experiencing the same thing. So when I know I'm in the moment, I just see it in the eyes.
See it in the eyes?
Yeah. That's where it's at for me, but it's a lot of fun.
Cool. And backtracking a little bit into the past, I think that what spurred this notion was we were talking about anxiety, depression, and stress, and looking to understand those things better. And I suggest the redefinition of anxiety being over thought energy, depression being over emotional energy, needing to be expressed or stored, and overstressing itself is signifying that we're not living in the moment of now. Instead, we're thinking too much about the past or the future. What do you think about redefining it in that way? So how does that resonate with you, David?
That is beautifully simplified. But for most people, that is too easy. So there is a science or a structure to dissect that information a little bit easier, to give a bit of a story so they can relate to what it is their thoughts or emotions are. And that's where I find Taoism and five-element theory in Chinese medicine is a wonderful construct to see how thoughts and emotions interact organically in our body. And then as we become more aware of that communication, we can be parents of them.
Cool. What's stirring in your heart mind?
I see it. I feel to just simplify life down to where you're an expression of love of self, and to channel your energy in harmony with what you're feeling, your environment, and what's around you, the people, how you're feeling, and just channeling, being light on yourself and expressing your love, just through taking care of your thoughts and not burning out that thought process, living in the future through anxiety and things that aren't even present right now, and getting your energy all over the place. That's not an expression of love of self. And the journey inward and in discovering the expression of love in each moment is what each soul needs to discover for themselves.
So, perfect transition into what I was thinking about while you were talking about love and energy is, with my discovery, I kind of enveloped love into being synonymous with energy, as in it's all love. Everything is energy, everything is love, just in the way in which we express it. Though, in doing so, I feel I've offended some people in being able to have no filter and expressing whatever it is I'm feeling and thinking in the moment, which most people don't take, necessarily a liking to because we're socially conditioned to behave. We're in a civilization, therefore we have to behave civilized. And even though I wasn't necessarily behaving uncivilized, I was still kind of giving their ego a real kick to the, proverbial nuts.
Yeah.
But not in a point as in being vindictive to that person's
Sure.
ego, but giving them the opportunity to really truly show a side of themselves and let their spirit be released.
Yeah, if the awareness is awake, maybe that reaction will create a little spark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which inevitably it will, I find, as long as you don't give up on that person.
Yeah.
They might not want to be your friend right after the instance, but if you still hold space for being friends in the future, that, like lots of times men bond, I've noticed, through when you're young, through getting into arguments or fights and stuff like that.
Sure.
There's something about exchanging that negative energy. Getting in trouble, yeah, exactly. There's something about that negative energy that makes guys bond. And I find that still very true between men. I don't see too many guys holding grudges on me for going out their ego.
Well, masculinity is like necessarily already yang and positive, so we're all chasing a girl who's predominantly more yin. You could, I guess, label that negative energy. So if we get in trouble,
Cathode,
So if we're having fun and bonding and negative energy experiences, it's really just reassuring our commitment to seeking love.
Right?
in the feminine body.
It all comes around full circle. Though I found with engaging in the cathode energies with women's ego is I am totally rejected and seeing as even harassing, especially if I keep at the conversation, that it turns into being labeled as harassment.
Right.
So I've talked with my sister about the same topic, and she requested that I, instead of thinking love as energy, but thinking love as kindness instead.
Yeah.
What do you think about love being kindness, Wes?
Love as kindness.
Love being synonymous with kindness.
That's another just narrow kind of perspective on the potential of what love is. And to truly love somebody, that love is different for each person, the way that they receive it. And if you love somebody how you love yourself, that's not going to be accurate. That's not going to be love for another person. It's a good place to start, knowing that, hey, we all need like food, air, water, and these things. But beyond that, we're all really complex beings, and we associate with our environment in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Just
it's beautiful.
Setting the space and just allowing a person to be at ease in your presence is truly a gift.
Yeah.
To just allow that ease and no tension, just simply kind of just being and holding space and allowing for open exchange without judgment. That's truly love of self and other. I feel.
I wanted to add something. As you were mentioning that, I had a flicker in my mind in regards to what you said earlier about self-love. And a lot of people I've heard, or I had a belief that self-love was kind of like egotistical. Because I didn't know. Right, sure. But then that's
an unhealthy form of self-love, where it takes you out of the moment and what's happening around you with the people.
Right. So what came to me and what's come to me before is redefining what self is. And for me, it's an acronym. Self is soul energy living freely, without constraints of something that they constructed to imprison themselves.
Soul energy living freely.
Yeah. So I want to say thank you for that.
Oh, I like the acronym. It's nice reminder.
I find acronyms are mega downloads if you see them.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's the way
words
of kind
in
of
general.
Fractalizing, storing energy and intention and within the words. And
it's beautiful.
Within one word. Nice fractalization.
I like that. That's a good first little interview. I think we should do this more often.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these conversations are going to help us as individuals, as well as potentially whoever listens to them. You know,
Right.
opening up. So let's think about potential different topics, and naturally those are going to just flow all together.
Yeah. And for anyone that's listening to this and there's a particular topic you want to hear about, just let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shoot us an email.
Absolutely. In fact, we can even connect with people at some point via the internet and just have
That would be
interviews.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And these little downloads are great for on the go. You get what you need, and they're packed full. They got a big bag in the punching, whatever. But yeah, that was deep, and we went there and
No time,
back
yeah.
in 10 minutes.
11
And-
minutes. Yeah, 10:44.
Touching on souls.
Wes, any last comments before we log off? Because you got to get to Medford, don't you?
Yeah. Just stay light on yourself, and keep loving yourself, and rediscovering what that means in every moment.
Cool. Well, this is Jesse Hart, David Smowton, and Wesley Wagner signing off.